Hola a todos y bienvenidos. Hi everyone and welcome to our final Spanish lesson. So this is the final virtual lesson that we will be doing this term because next week we'll be all back in school together and we can do our Spanish lessons in class face to face. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you. Before we start, I'd just like to say a massive mil gracias, a big thank you to everybody who has taken part in the Spanish lessons, either online, the pre-recorded lessons, or the live lessons that we do every Wednesday. Okay, I'm really proud of all of your efforts and I'm really pleased to see the progress that you've made. So, bien hecho, big well done everybody. So today's lesson is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do, okay, because at the end of the lesson, you are going to be doing a bit of a treasure hunt for me. So I'm just going to share with you now what's going to happen today. So lesson 7, we're going to be learning how to use an online dictionary. And at the end of the lesson, we're going to be applying the skills that we've just learned to complete our task. Okay, and then what you'll need to do is submit that task to me by sharing it with me. My email address will be on the end of the document that will be sent out. And then you will win a raffle ticket to El Gordo, which is our raffle draw at the end of term. Before we move on though, I would just like to say a big well done to all of the children in all of the Year 6 and Year 5 classes who submitted their Google forms, their Google quizzes. Okay, so first place went to 5NW, had 21 responses back from the children in that class, so I was really impressed. And joint second place went to 6BP and 6CF, who each submitted 12 entries. Okay, but well done to all of the children in all of the classes who took the time to have a go at the Google quiz and send it back to me. Each of your names has been written on a raffle ticket and has been entered into the prize draw for the end of the term. So moving on then, what is our LFPA for today? We're going to be learning to use an online bilingual dictionary. Now remember, bilingual means 2 languages. The focus then will be to navigate a dictionary, so to find our way around and to understand what each section and each part means. The purpose is to be able to effectively find information using an online dictionary. And for the assessment, by the end of the lesson, you should be able to search, locate and use information that you have found in a bilingual dictionary. So what do we already know then? What is a dictionary for? So a dictionary helps us then to find out what a word means. And remember, dictionaries are written in alphabetical order, so starting with A all the way through to Z. So in order to use an online dictionary, first we need to know where they are. So we're going to use search engines such as Google to find them. And there are lots and lots and lots to choose from. But if you have a look at the slides, you'll see that I've written down 3 for you. And these are the 3 that I tend to use. So if I need to find out a word, these are the sites that I would visit to find out. Okay, but for the purpose of today's lesson, we're going to be using the top link to access a Spanish online dictionary. Now remember, when you are searching online for a bilingual dictionary, you already know the word in English and you want to translate it into a different language, in this case Spanish. So I'm going to show you how to do that with the example dog. So you will type dog into the search bar and press the arrow. And then the page will refresh and then you will see the word dog in English and underneath the word for it in the target language. So in here, Spanish. So you can see dog and then el perro underneath, so the dog. If you click the audio button, you can hear a native speaker pronounce the word. So if you're not sure how to say a word, if you click the audio button next to the Spanish word, you'll hear a person who is a native Spanish speaker, so that's their first language, pronouncing it correctly. And underneath, you'll sometimes get a bit of extra information about a word. So if your word is a noun or a verb or an adjective or an adverb or a preposition, it will tell you. Okay, so before you see examples of the word used in a sentence, you will find out which word class it belongs to. Okay, so here you can see that dog is a noun. And if your word is a noun, you know that it will either be masculine or feminine. So next to the word, it will tell you in brackets the gender. So you will see M in brackets for masculine nouns and F in brackets for feminine nouns. Okay, so if you have a look at the example here, you can see el perro is a dog. But if you wanted to talk about a female dog, you could say la perra. But if you're just talking about a dog in general and you didn't know if it was male or female, we'll just use el perro. It's only if you're being very specific and talking about a dog. Okay. And it will also put the word into several sentences. So below, once you've got the Spanish word, it will put them into sentences for you. Okay. And these sentences give context, so they will explain, because you might have many different reasons or many different explanations using the word dog. Okay. So you might not just be talking about one specific thing. So just like in English, where different words can have different meanings in different contexts, it's the same in Spanish, and it will give you the context. So you'll also see, if you look along the top, a thesaurus. And a thesaurus, remember, gives you synonyms and words related to the word that you've searched for. So here, if I type in dog and then I click thesaurus, it will give me synonyms for dog or words related to dog. So here you can see different types of breeds of dog. You can see the word for puppy. You can see the word for stray dog. Okay, because in different languages, they might have different words to express this. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like to open up a new window and type in www.spanishdict.com. Okay, and you can do this through the Google search engine as well. And you want to click on translate, because we are changing the word from English into Spanish. So once you've done that, I'd like you to translate the word crocodile. Now remember, because this is a pre-recorded lesson, whilst you are doing these tasks in a different window, pause this video so that you can do what you need to do and then press play when you are ready. Okay, perfect. So you should have been able to translate the word crocodile for me. Go back and have a look at what word class it belongs to. So remember, is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it a verb? How can you tell? So remember, just underneath the word, it will tell you whether it is a noun, an adjective, a preposition, whatever the word class, it will tell you. So go back and have a look. What word class does it belong to? Well done, crocodile is a noun. Is it a masculine noun or is it a feminine noun? So go back and have a look. Remember, you're looking for M in brackets for masculine or F in brackets for female. It is a masculine noun. Well done. Okay, so staying on the same page, you need to clear the search bar, and I want you to translate the word speak. Okay, so type speak into the search bar and click the arrow. Once you've done that, scroll down and have a look at what word class it belongs to. So what type of word is it? Well done, it is a verb. What I'd like you to do now, though, is go to Thesaurus. So remember, you go along the top to Thesaurus and click that, and it will bring up lots of synonyms for speak. So what synonyms can you see for speak? What can you find? So when you're ready, we'll move on. I have taken a screen grab of all of the different words or all of the different synonyms for speak. And as you can see, I've copied and pasted it underneath for you to have a look at. What I'd like you to do now is translate the word friend. So clear your search bar again and type in friend. What word class does it belong to? Well done, it is a noun. However, when you look, it is both masculine and feminine. Why do you think this is? Why can you see it with an M for masculine and an F for feminine? Okay, well done then. So amigo is a male friend and amiga is a female friend. So the word is masculine or feminine depending on the person it is talking about. If it's talking about a male, we'd use amigo, the masculine noun. If you're talking about a female, we'd use amiga, the feminine noun. So what I'd like to do now is to stay on the same page and convince me that there are different translations for the word March. So using your online dictionary, type in the word March into your search engine. How can you convince me that there are different translations for this word? Okay, so I've taken again a couple of screenshots. So march can be a march as in a parade. It can also be a verb, to march. It can also be a month of the year, March. So there's lots of different translations. We use the word March, but in Spanish you'll find different translations, so different words. Because remember, March has different meanings depending on the context. So I'd like you now to explain why dictionaries write the word in several different sentences. So thinking about what we've just learnt in our convince me part of the lesson, explain why dictionaries write the word in several different sentences. So pause it while you have a think. So if you're a bit stuck, I'm going to give you an example. Think of the word light. Why might you see light written in several different sentences? So well done then if you recognise that the word light has different meanings in different contexts. So I'm going to go through a few examples with you. So the first one, can you turn the light on please? We're referring to a light, so a light bulb. Can you turn the light on please? Number 2, I bought a light blue jacket. We're referring to a shade of colour. Your suitcase is very light. Are you sure you've packed enough clothes? In the third example then, the word light is referring to weight. So light as in being the opposite of heavy. And in the fourth example, use the lantern to light the way. Here light is being used as a verb. Okay, so we use different sentences to show how the word is used. So sometimes it's used as a noun, sometimes it's used as an adjective, sometimes it's used as a verb. Okay, so the dictionary has several different sentences to demonstrate the different contexts in which this word can be used. So what I'd like you to do now is explain why you might encounter different translations for these words. So you've got book, fight, match, and row or row, depending on how you're reading it. Why might we encounter different translations for these words? So pause it while you have a think. And now we'll go through the answers. So book. Book can be a noun, as in a book that you read. But you can also use the word book as in, I want to book a table at a restaurant, so I want to reserve a table at a restaurant. So book here can be both a noun and a verb. The same for fight. You can be involved in a fight or you have to fight. So it can be a verb or a noun. Match, you can have a match as in a football match. You can have a match as in something that you strike to light a fire with. You can have a match as in to match things up. And row or row, depending on how you read it. So you can have a row as in an argument. You can row a boat. Okay, so when you have a look at words, remember there's also different meanings for lots of different words. And that's why when you are translating a word, you need to read all of the sentences to find the correct context for the word that you are searching for. Because if you are looking for instance, with book, if you type in book, but you are looking more for how can I book a table, and the first word you see is el libro, it does mean book, but not in the same context. That means book as in a book that you are reading, not as in a reservation for an event or a table. Okay, so that's why it's really, really important when you use an online dictionary and a dictionary, a paper dictionary, that you have a look at the different examples that are given. Okay. So then your task then, what you now have is a treasure hunt to complete. And I've asked your teachers to send out a Google document. What you need to do is you need to make a copy of this document and add your own name so I can see whose it is. And then you've got some questions that you need to answer. But to answer the questions, you're going to need to use the online dictionary that you've just been using this lesson. Okay, so we're applying the skills that we've just learned. We're practicing them. So you're going to have some questions and you're going to need to use the dictionary to find the answers. Then, once you've written down all of the answers, you'll notice that the first letter of each answer will spell out a word in Spanish. You then need to translate that word, and once you've done that, submit your work to me so you can reshare it. I've put my email address on the bottom of the document so you know where to send it to. Okay, so we're using the skills now to answer the questions, and then we're going to take the first letter from each answer to spell out a word in Spanish. Okay, so once you've done that, then all you need to do is reshare that with me, and you will win a raffle ticket. So all that's left from me to say is muchas gracias. Thank you very much for participating in today's lesson, and I am looking forward to seeing your lovely smiles next week in school. Hasta luego.